One of the biggest questions that is asked to commonly disprove and lead people away from God is the question of how can God be real if there are wars going on? You know, God is typically shown as a fair God, so how is God real if the world is not a fair place? And the first point is God gave us free will, so we choose what goes on in the world. We choose, it's down to our actions, not God's, because God gave us free will, God gave us choices. And what we've done with those choices is that we've started the wars, not God. But, there could just never be a God that ever gave us free will, and there could just never be a God that chose to give us choices on our lives. And we've always had a choice. And, that we've evolved from the particles in the sea, right? We could just be that. Well, Luke chapter 3 verse 4, the crooked places shall be made straight and the rough ways shall be made smooth. So this shows that we as humans are typically on a crooked line. We typically go on a wonky line that leads to these wars, that like all this sin leads to all the evil that happens in the world, right? But how do we know what justice is, right? How do we know what a fair world is? If you think about it, the typical hierarchy in animal species is the fact that the stronger ones dominate the pack. The stronger ones are the ones that have all the children, and the women are seen as objects and objectified in the animals in the world, right? So how are we as humans different? How do we find justice and fairness and equality different to all the other animals? Think about the perfect line, you think about a just, a fair and equal person, and then you think about what Jesus did. He led that straight line. He is the straight line that we typically align ourselves with. If you think about a perfect person, you will think about the life that Jesus led, right? Because he had no sin, he did no evil. So therefore, how can Jesus or God not be real if every single person on this world tries to align themselves with that straight line and tries to be as good as possible? If every single person on this world looks to Jesus and God without even thinking or knowing it, because that's what they think justice is, how can there not be Jesus or God?